Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another session. You are very much welcome. When you get on here, please share to be a blessing for us. Share to be a blessing to somebody. As we do same on here, share to be a blessing for us. Share to be a blessing for us. Share to be a blessing for us. You are very welcome to another episode or another session of a Dose of Encouragement Incorporated sessions. We are very much grateful for your support. We are very much grateful for your time. We honor and bless God for your life. And we hope that as you support us here, you would also be supported in your many ways or in your diverse ways. Anywhere that you are in need of help, anywhere that you are in need of support, you would get the assistance or you will get the support that you need. So you are very much welcome to today's session. When you get on here, please share to be a blessing for us. Share to be a blessing for us. As I do same on here, we'll start in few, but share to be a blessing for. I'm looking this because I'm sharing on our other platforms. But you are very much welcome to a Dose of Encouragement Incorporated. If you don't know who I am, my name is Amanda, and I am the founder of a Dose of Encouragement Incorporated. And I am also your host that I come to you every Saturday morning when God permits, right? So you are very much welcome. As you all know, on here, what we do is that we learn from each other, we learn from one another, right? There is nothing like I know all. There is nothing like, oh, what I'm saying, it's all that stand. We learn from each other. That is what we do on here. So you are very much welcome. Excuse me. You are very much welcome to today's episode. And as you can see, we are talking about embracing discomfort for growth, embracing discomfort for growth, embracing those unpleasant moments, embracing them because guess what? They come to better us, they come to help us grow, they come to enable us move forward, they come to help us push through, they come to better us or help us become better in everything that we do. So as I do same here, please do well and share for me. Do well and share for me. Do well and share for me. And give us one few minutes as we do same on here, and we will be able to start in feel. We will be able to start in feel. What is discomfort? As a matter of fact, anything and everything that prevent us from being okay where we sit and being okay where we stand, being okay how where we find ourselves. That is what we're talking about here, right? So embracing those discomfort, right? For growth that deeply relate to our everyday life, that deeply relate to the things that we do, that deeply relate to how we see ourselves, that deeply relate to how we do certain things is what we're talking about here, right? So you are very, very welcome to today's episode as I share right here. You are very, very much welcome, right? Share to be a blessing for us, share to be a blessing for us. But you are welcome, right? So everyday activity that we find ourselves through that prevent us or that makes us feel like, hey, where we are standing, we are not comfortable. Where we are standing, we are not doing so well. Where we are standing, things are not going the way they're supposed to go. That is what we're talking about here, right? So embracing those difficult moments so that we are able to move in. I said it deeply relate to our everyday life because true progress, right? often comes from pushing through those difficult times, pushing through those challenges, pushing through those times where we are uncomfortable, right? Where we are stressed out, where we are like, man, why is this happening? Or how is this happening, right? After everything that I have done, or after all that I am doing, why is this happening? That is what we're talking about here. So being able to push through regardless of whatever we find ourselves, regardless of however we find ourselves, regardless of where we are in life, right? Regardless of that, that is what we're talking about here. So growth and comfort do not coexist, right? One has to go for the other to emerge. One has to go for the other to come through. So if you are in discomfort, that discomfort has to go so that you would be comfortable where you are. And it all involves work. It all involves you pushing yourself. It all involves we scanning through, we going through, regardless of however or whatever we find ourselves, we pushing through the way we know how, right? And so I have something here by Ginny Rumney that says, in life, we often find ourselves wanting to improve, whether it's learning a new skill, advancing in our careers, or pushing personal goals. However, staying in a familiar routine rarely leads to significant change. The discomfort of trying something new forces us to grow beyond our current capabilities, right? It forces us to grow. It forces you to do something that you never thought you could be able to do. It forces us to push our limit. It forces us to break forth, right? Because maybe where we are sitting, it is we selling ourselves short. It is we thinking that, oh, it's not possible to do that, right? And so we selling ourselves short, right? But in pushing ourselves, we push ourselves beyond our capabilities. We push ourselves beyond our limit, right? That is we choosing the other, whether it's choosing growth over comfort or choosing comfort over growth, right? But in all, it is better and it is good to choose growth over comfort, right? Choose growth over comfort, regardless of however, regardless of whatever, regardless of wherever you see yourself. Growth is the number one priority, right? And then I said, the pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Whatever you're going through now, however you're going through now, however it seems now, right? It will become your strength tomorrow. It will become that thing that you will look back and say, I am grateful that I went through this. I am grateful that I pushed myself through this. I am grateful that I did not give up, right? So that is what we're talking about here. Pushing or embracing those discomforts so that we get to that space we want to get to, that place we need to get to, right? So under that it says, excuse me, in difficult times like overcoming a loss, struggling with a career setback, or anything that pertains to life, the pain and discomfort eventually transform our resiliency and strength, right? It help us become that person that wants to fight. It help us become that person that want to stand for what we believe in. It help us to become that person that want to say that regardless of whatever the pain is, that will be my strength tomorrow. Because guess what? I have to push myself through this. I have to struggle, find my way out in order to get to my glory, in order to get to where I need to find myself, or in order to get to where I need to see myself, right? So we gotta have to push ourselves, regardless of whatever it is. The pain and discomfort eventually transform into resiliency and strength. It's through those hard times that we build the emotional and mental strength needed for our success. It's through those times that we build our capability. It is through that time that we build what we thought it is not possible to build. It is through that time that we build our strength. It is through that time that we say to ourselves that, hey, here I am, but I am going to push myself. Right? It is true that. It is true that. If you are here, please keep tapping on the screen for us. Oh, keep tapping on the screen for us. Keep tapping on the screen for us. Right? It is true that we find ourselves, that we find our strength, that we push ourselves through. It is through those discomfort. It is through those struggles. It is through those. Right? How are you dealing with your discomfort? How are you pushing yourself through? I'm looking up because I'm sharing on other platforms too. Right? How are you pushing through those discomfort, those pain, those struggles, right? That will build your resiliency tomorrow. Thanks so much for hopping on here. Please feel free to leave a comment on here for us. Feel free to share for us and keep tapping on the like and share buttons for us so that excuse me, so that YouTube and Facebook can push our content out. Thank you very much. Right? Push ourselves through. Right? We got to push ourselves through, regardless of however we feel, regardless of where we find ourselves. We have to build that strength. We have to build that capability. We have to build that momentum. Right? So, in difficult times like overcoming losses, right? Or working through personal challenges, the pain and discomfort eventually transform our resiliency and strength, transforms our emotions, transform our mental endurance needed for our future success, needed for that thing that you are working on so bad, needed for that thing that you are building on. The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow, right? Move out of your comfort zone. It's never gonna be easy moving out of your comfort zone. It's never gonna be easy scaling through that. It's never gonna be easy, but move out of your comfort zone, right? Move out of those comfort zone. Move out of where you feel comfortable. Move out of where you feel safe. Move out, right? Wherever you feel comfortable, move out. Because you can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new, right? That is where growth comes. That is where you find your strength. That is where you work on you, right? Right? So move out of your comfort zone. Don't be comfortable where you're sitting. Don't be comfortable what you're going through. Don't be comfortable where you are. Move out, right? Move out of there. Move out of those comfort zone, right? Build on you. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to come on a silver platter. But move, right? It is never going to be easy. Especially when you've been comfortable where you are, especially where you've been comfortable, what you've been through or you're going through, especially when you are sitting at a place where you feel like, oh, I'm okay here. You're never going to be comfortable to move. You're never going to be. Right? You are never going to be comfortable until you move. 1 second. Right? Until you move, it is never going to be comfortable. Right? So move out of that comfort zone. Right? And don't sit there. Move out of those comfort zone. I wrote here, I said, whether it's taking a new job, whether it's moving to a different city or starting a new hobby, the initial stage of trying something unfamiliar can feel awkward and even unsettling. But these are the exact moment where life pushes us to adapt, learn and grow, right? Learn and evolve, learn and push through, learn and better yourself, right? Because remember, our comfort is the enemy of progress. So if we are comfortable where we stand, if we say to ourselves that, hey, wherever I am comfortable, that is the enemy of our progress, right? Example is we staying in jobs that we're not comfortable with, right? We staying in occupations where we're not comfortable with. Because what? It is easier. Because what? It is comfortable in it, right? Because it is comfortable, right? 1 second, guys. Because it is comfortable. So how do we move ourselves from there? How do we push through, right? How do we keep going? Is what we're talking about here, right? Because it is never going to be easy. It is never going to come on a silver platter. It is never going to happen. Right? It is never going to happen. Right? It is never going to happen because comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the enemy of anything that we have to do to move from where we are to where we need to be. Right? So the example is you staying in a job that you don't like or you don't love because it is comfortable, or people who avoid working out because it's easier to relax. Right? And then life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins when we choose or when we take time to push ourselves. Life begins when we take time to move through those struggles. Life begins when we take time to push through our effort. That's where life begins. So, have you gotten there yet? Are you comfortable where you are? Are you pushing yourself yet? Are you pushing your limit yet? Or you like, okay, whatever it is, however it is, what will be, right? We got to push ourselves, right? We got to push ourselves. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. It doesn't matter how hard it becomes. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't, right? It doesn't matter because life begins where our comfort ends. Because if we're comfortable, we're just going to stay where we are. If we're comfortable, we're just going to stay exactly where we have been if we are comfortable. Right? If we are comfortable. Right? I said some of the most rewarding life experiences, right? It starts when you choose to do things in a different way. Right? When you choose to do things in a different way. When you choose to do things that you are not comfortable with, right? When you choose to do things that you feel some type of way about, right? That is where life begins, right? If it doesn't challenge you, it will not change you. If whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't challenge you, it will not move you one bit. It will not let you even move forward. Because if that thing you're doing doesn't challenge you in any way, shape, or form, you're comfortable. Right? But if it challenges you to move on, if it challenges you to get out of your comfort zone, if it challenges you to do some uncomfortable things, right? Life begins where our progress begins where our life ends, right? Because guess what? Comfort is the progress of is the enemy of our progress. Because all it will tell us is, oh, we're comfortable. Oh, it's okay. You are good where you are. You are comfortable where you sit. You are good. That is what it will tell you. But until you learn to get in the mode that where you are is not where you are meant to be, where you are is just a stepping stone, or where you are in transit. So get yourself and move on, or stretch forth and stretch thin your capabilities. You will be comfortable where you're sitting, right? So if it doesn't challenge you, it would not change you, right? And then I have example of things that will not challenge you. But I said without challenges, we do not build new skills, strength, or deeper connections. The struggle is part of the process that leads to change, right? Without it, without those moments, without those challenges, without we pushing ourselves to the brim, or without we saying that, hey, I think I've sat here way too long. I think it's time for me to get myself up. I think it's time for me to move. We'll just be sitting there, right? We'll just be sitting there. We'll just be sitting there, right? So if it doesn't challenge you, it will not change you. Right? You don't grow when you are too comfortable. You don't grow when we are too relaxed. We don't grow when we are not learning any new things. And somebody will say, oh, but Amanda, I am too old to learn. No, nobody is too old to learn anything. It is here. You have to decide that, do I really want to do this? You have to decide that, hey, am I comfortable where I'm sitting? You have to decide, right? You have to decide. You have to decide on that. Nobody is going to make that decision for you. Nobody is going to make that assessment for you. You have to be the one doing that. Right? You have to be the one doing that. I said discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life. And this was said by Susan David, right? That life's most meaningful achievement, whether it's raising your kid, whether it's you going to school, discomfort is a natural part of striving for and reaching a meaningful goal. So if you go into school and you cannot seem to understand anything that the lecturer is saying, that is discomfort. That is what you have to struggle and figure out why that is happening. How do I do that? Where do I go to get help from? Oh, I'm not comfortable asking people for help, right? But I have to ask it. Oh, I'm not comfortable going to ask my lecturer that this thing he's doing, I don't understand, right? But I have to do it. Oh, I'm not comfortable going to that place to seek for employment, but I have to do it anyway, right? I have to do it anyways. You have to do the uncomfortable things. You have to do the things that pushes you, right, to your limit, that pushes you to your greatness. You have to do that, right? Right? You definitely have to do that. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna come on a silver platter, but you have to do that. Great things never happen from any comfort zone. Great things never happen from you just sitting on the couch. Great things never happen from you not bettering yourself. Great things never happen from you just relaxing and say, okay, what will be, will be. Let me just sit here. Nothing good happens from that. Nothing good happens from that. So you choose and pick if you're going to sit where you sitting. You choose and pick if where you sitting is where you see yourself being, or is what you pictured for yourself. And if it's not where you pictured yourself to be, then you got to get yourself up and move, right? Then you got to get yourself up and move, because nothing good comes from you being in your comfort zone. Breakthroughs happen when challenges or when we challenge ourselves. Breakthrough happens when we push ourselves by pursuing what we are passionate about, right? That is where great things happen. Oh, but Amanda, this, I cannot do this. I am, no, honey, get yourself up, push yourself through, work it out. It might not come easy. It might not come on a silver platter, but push through. As long as you have not stopped, as long as you are not giving up, as long as you're going to fight and push forward, as long as you say to yourself that, okay, this situation is not comfortable for me, so I'm going to separate myself from that and I'm going to move on with what will benefit me, right? Because we have two options in every given situation, whether to step forward into the growth or to step back into the safety, right? Whether to step forward into our growth or step back into what you call it, our safety. Many of us, we've built a safety net for ourselves. Many of us, we've enclosed ourselves in a box. Many of us, we have said to ourselves that this is where I'm going to sit and that's it, right? Many of us, that's what we've said to ourselves. I am going to sit here because I'm comfortable. I am going to sit here because I feel good. I'm going to sit here because that is where I feel safe. But sometimes in doing so, we are doing ourselves this favor or disservice. right? In doing so, we are not helping ourselves. We're not helping anybody, right? We're not helping anybody, right? So, in any given moment, we have two options: to step forward into growth or to step back into safety. And that was Abraham Maslow's, right? He says, every day we face challenges, we face struggles, we face things that help us to either push ourselves forward or push ourselves into that space that we've built, that comfort zone, that safety net that we've built. Whether it's taking a new responsibility at work, whether it's moving into a new city, or whether it's finding yourself in a difficult situation, right? If you continue sitting in that space you sit in your comfort zone, nothing good is going to come out. If you continue sitting in your comfort zone, you are just going to be whiling away those precious abilities that you have, wasting it off. Because guess what? Discomfort isn't things to be afraid of. Discomfort isn't things to shy away from. It will come as long as you are here, as long as you keep growing, as long as you keep pushing through. They are going to come. But when they come, we have to choose and decide that, hey, is that what I really want to do? Is it where I want to sit? How do I navigate myself from here to that place? Embracing those discomfort for our growth. Welcome to A Dose of Encouragement Incorporated. Please share and like this video for us. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Right? We have to choose and pick. So I'm not comfortable where I'm sitting. I'm not comfortable the job I'm in, but I'm going to sit there because what? I am afraid of change, or what? I am afraid of taking a step, or I am comfortable here. Remember, your progress, comfort becomes the enemy of your progress. You choose and pick. If you want to stay in that comfort zone, in that safety net, or you're going to push yourself to your potentials, you're going to push your potentials to the limit because you are endowed with so much more. You are endowed with so much potentials. You are endowed with so much greatness that if you sit in this comfort zone, you are just wasting those potentials away. Life comes, yes. Struggle comes, yes. But nothing should ever stop you from reaching your goal. Nothing should ever stop you from reaching your potentials. Nothing should ever make you sit in that comfort zone and say, I am okay. When there is room to expand, when there is room to grow, when there is room to do great and mighty things. Because growth and comfort never exist or never coexist. No, never, they do not coexist, I mean. They cannot be in the same space. Right? So if you want to grow, you got to take off certain things. If you want to grow, you got to let do away with certain things. If you want to grow, you got to push certain things apart. What are you pushing apart? Or are you saying to yourself that I am okay here, even though you're not, but I am okay here? If you are not comfortable where you are, push yourself to better yourself. Push yourself for your growth. Push yourself. Sometimes we got to do things that we are not comfortable with. That's why I use asking for help as an example, right? I do not understand that topic that the lecturer taught. But I do not also want to go ask because it will make me feel stupid. That is you choosing comfort over your growth. I don't feel comfortable and safe for this job. But because it is easier to do, because it is comfortable, because there are people, some people who like me, I'm gonna stay here. Even when those goals, those rules doesn't align with your beliefs. You get that? Even if it doesn't align with those, I'm gonna sit here, right? You can only grow if we are willing to feel uncomfortable, to feel awkward in such situations that will urge us to move forward, that will push us to move forward, that will push us to get ourselves from where we're sitting. That is the only way we're going to push ourselves. That is the only way. What are you doing to push yourself to your growth? What are you doing to push your limits and to stretch your capabilities? What are you willing to do? Because growth will never come easy. It will never come on a silver platter, right? It will not. You decide if this is what I want. You decide if this is how I want it. You decide what I have to do to get up and move, what I have to do to better myself, what I have to do to push myself through, what I have to do to keep going. You have to ask that, right? You have to ask yourself that, right? You have to decide, you have to determine that that decision is in your hands. That decision is in your court. That decision, you have to do it, and nobody else has to do it for you. Right? No one can do that or can make that decision for you. It's either you choose to step into your greatness or choose to stay in that safety zone. Which one is it going to be? Right? Which one is it going to be? Staying in that safety net, staying in that comfort zone. Because in staying in your comfort zone, all it does is it makes you relatable to your situations. It makes you relatable to what you have going on. It makes you relatable to what is going on in your life. It makes you relatable to the circumstances that you find yourself in. Meanwhile, you can do better. Meanwhile, you can push yourself. Meanwhile, you can push your limit, right? You can push it. So push yourself. Stretch your limit. Stretch your capability. Stretch it out. Sometimes it's not going to be easy, right? Sometimes it will mean that you doing things that you don't feel comfortable doing. Sometimes it will mean that you turning certain things around, pushing things through. Sometimes that's what it thinks or it means. Amanda, I don't know how to do this. Amanda, I don't know if I can do this. Life reminds us that discomfort isn't something to fear, but it is a signal for growth. right? It is a signal for strength. It is a signal to help us push forward, right? That is what life tells us. So don't sell yourself short. Don't say to yourself that, hey, I cannot do this. Hey, I cannot do that. Don't do that. Build on you. Build on your strength. Build on your capabilities, right? Build on you. Because until you move from that safe zone to that place where you don't feel comfortable anymore, you're still going to be where you are. Until you move from there. Great things never happens in one's comfort zone. You have to push yourself to the max. You have to push yourself to the limit. You have to stretch those capabilities out. Oh, I'm okay here. Meanwhile, you're not. Oh, I'm comfortable here. Meanwhile, you're not. Especially when it comes to jobs and other stuff. You know for a fact that those rules, those regulations, those way of doing things doesn't align with your belief, doesn't align with your values, doesn't align with the things that you believe in. And yet, you are sitting there, right? And yet you are sitting there. You are asking yourself, or you telling yourself, I'm okay here. I'm comfortable here. I'm good. Meanwhile, you're not. It starts with you embracing what you have going on. It starts with you accepting what you have going on. It starts with you accepting how you want things to be like. What have you chosen to be comfortable with? Or what have you chosen to embrace to help you grow? Right? Right? What have you decided to be comfortable with? Or what have you decided to embrace in that discomfort to help you push you forward, to help you push you to your greatness, to help you build on you, to help you better you, to help you grow? Because growth will not come if you are comfortable where you're sitting. It will not, right? That is why we said growth and comfort do not coexist. They are not friends, right? They are not friends because one has to go for the other to emerge. They are not colleagues, right? One has to push out for the other to benefit. Which one are you pushing out? Your growth or your comfort? I will push my growth. I will do away with the comfortability that I'm sitting in and start building and start growing, right? The two cannot coexist. The two cannot stay in the same space. They cannot. You gotta let one go. You gotta let one know for a fact that, hey, I might love you very much. I might like you very much, but comfort, I gotta let you go. Building on you in order to grow, start with you making certain bold decisions. Start with you making certain uncomfortable decisions. Start with you taking certain steps. Start with that. So, what are you willing, or which one are you willing to choose? Your comfort or your growth? Right? Because sometimes we gotta feel the pains in order for that to push us to our growth. I'm so comfortable where I'm sitting. I'm so good where I'm sitting. Meanwhile, certain things are not working for you. Meanwhile, certain situations need to be tweaked here and there. And you are so comfortable that you lazy about. You are so comfortable that you don't see anything wrong with what where you sitting. Are you really stretching your potentials out? Are you really stretching out your capability to help you grow? Because we never stop growing in life. Thanks so much for hopping on here, guys. If you have any comment, any yeah, put it in the chat for us. Right? We have to grow in order to get to that greatness that we're looking for, in order to get to that potential that we are aspiring for. Nothing good comes from you being comfortable where you are sitting. Nothing good comes from you being comfortable with what you find or where you find yourself at. If nothing at all, that should push you, that should energize you, that should give you the momentum to move on or to try and better you. I always say this: a problem you don't hold by the horn, remain resident. It feels that it has right in your life, right? Comfort, they say, is the enemy of our progress. How much are you willing to progress? How well are you willing to, how good or how hungry enough are you to put in those work to your greatness, to put in those work for your growth? Because as I said, we never stop growing. Growing is an everyday thing, right? It's an everyday thing. It's an ongoing thing. So the moment you become so comfortable where you sitting, you're doing yourself a disfavor. You're doing yourself no good. We become too comfortable. We become too okay with where we see ourselves that nothing pushes us to want to better ourselves. Nothing pushes us to want to take courses to upgrade ourselves. Nothing pushes us to, and yet you are sitting where you sit and complaining. You are sitting where you sit and saying to yourself that, oh, things are not going well for me. Things are not working as I thought it should. But you are so comfortable where you sitting that you don't want to put in the work. You don't want to lift a finger on anything. You don't want to sit there and analyze what you have going on and say to yourself that, hey, what I have here or what I see is not what I was meant to be. But though I am here, I am going to start building on me. I will start today to think through what exactly I have to do, to think through how exactly I have to do it. Right? Nothing will come on a silver platter. Right? No good thing comes on a silver platter. No better thing comes cheap. So as your growth, so as your greatness, so as your advancement, so as your the things that you have to put in place for you to grow. You gotta embrace those discomfort. You gotta embrace those uncertainties. You gotta embrace them and then use those as a stepping stone to grow. I salute you to my brother, call me testimony. Right? They're not gonna come easy because the pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Right? It will be the strength you feel tomorrow. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you don't stop. What do you call it? You don't stop trying. That's what we're talking about here. As long as you don't stop trying, never quit trying, never quit pushing yourself, never quit being striving for the best. Never quit. But don't be too comfortable staying where you are. Don't be too comfortable with your surroundings. Don't be too comfortable with your situation. Don't be too comfortable where you see yourself or what you're going through. You got to be able to determine that, hey, at this point where things are getting to, I have to get myself up. I have to gather myself and I have to keep moving because this is now where I was made to sit. What discomfort are you being comfortable with? What discomfort are you being okay with? What discomfort are you not paying attention to? Discomfort is a natural and necessary part of growth. And that's by willingly subjecting yourself to it. You are building resilience and strength. I can close off this. I can end this live session of this, right? We've said a lot, but I can close the session of this, of what he wrote. It is part of life. So you got to embrace it. It is part of life. You got to ask yourself that, is this where I was made to be? Is this my final bus stop? Those are the questions sometimes we got to ask ourselves. They might not be good. They might be unpleasant, but you got to ask yourself that. It is the price that you have to pay for admitting that you want a meaningful life. Discomfort. But don't choose to stay in there. Choose to build on it. Use that, as I always say, use that as a yardstick and build on it. Right? Build on it. Challenges will come. Struggles will come. But don't stay there. Take them and run with it. Take them and use it to your growth. Take them and use it to your advantage. Take them. And don't let your situation makes you feel so comfortable that you forget who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you were made of. You have to know how you were made. You have to know the extent to which you have been given the goal. You have to know the extent to which, when you strive, you can get to. Because you are built with so much capabilities. You are built with so much greatness. You are built with so much power that you have to get yourself up and walk. Will it be easy? No. especially when you've sat at one place that you've been so comfortable at. It will not be easy. People who aim to be uncomfortable were more engaged in their activities, felt more motivated to keep them doing them, and believed they made more progress towards those goals compared to those who were not seeking out this kind of vulnerability. Did you see that? As a man think it, as a man think it, so is he. So is he. Let me use this example. There was something that I was dealing with, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm scared." Sometimes we forget ourselves, right? And I'm like, "Oh, guys, keep sharing this for us as well." I'm like, "Oh, I'm so scared. I don't know what I'm doing, right?" And then my spiritual, I was speaking to my spiritual mother about it, and then I said that, and she goes, "Well, the same person that spoke about as a man thinking." I was like, "Oh shoot, yeah, you're right. Let me snap myself out of it." We have the tendency of falling into that. We have the tendency of being comfortable where we are. We have the tendency of saying, "This is what is happening to me, and that's what I'm gonna accept." And we forget that comfort is the enemy of progress. We forget that if we are comfortable in that situation, nothing will push us to grow. Nothing will push us to better ourselves. Nothing will push us to keep striving. What are you willing to give? Or what are you willing to do to see yourself grow every day of your life? Because, my brother, my sister, where you are is now where you are meant to be. If you are not seeing that picture of what you pictured yourself to be, right? Don't be too comfortable. Don't be too okay where you are. Don't be too, do I use the word easy going with everything that comes your way? Right? He said, growing is often uncomfortable. We found that embracing discomfort can be motivating, right? Can be motivating. People should seek the discomfort inherent in growth as a sign of progress instead of avoiding it, right? Oh, I am okay here. I am okay where I am. It's fine. No, you're not. You're not. Because that is not where you were meant to be. That is like you have accepted it. So you think it is where you are meant to be. You have accepted it. So you think that it's okay where you are. It's okay what is happening to you. It's okay what you're going through. But until you understand that you do not grow when you are comfortable, and that your progress doesn't come when you are comfortable, and that you have two choices to choose from, whether to move forward into your growth or whether to step back or step back into your safety net, you will never grow. So choose and pick which one you want. Me pushing into my growth, or me staying in my comfort zone, in my safety net, in the place that I feel comfortable, in the place that I feel safe, in the place that nobody think that whatever is going on is not right. Right? You choose and pick that. Is where I am comfortable? Is where I am okay, is where I am, the place that I was meant to be, right? Because if you don't challenge yourself, you won't grow, right? If you don't push yourself, you won't grow. If you accept anything and everything that comes in, that comes your way, you will not grow, right? You wouldn't. You wouldn't grow, right? Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel uncomfortable. That's what I wrote here. Today I have my note on my tablet, right? That is what I wrote here, right? You can never grow if you don't push yourself out of that comfort zone. If you don't push yourself over your limit, you are never going to grow. I am okay. I don't understand that topic, but I am okay. Meanwhile, you are failing in your classes. Meanwhile, you are not doing so well with your job. Oh, I'm fine. Everything is going to be all right. No, everything is not going to be all right. Everything is not going to be all right. But because you have accepted it, because you have made it the way it is, because you have said that, okay, I'm good here. So I'm just going to sit here and chillax myself. I'm not going to strive to better myself. I'm not going to strive to upgrade myself. I'm not going to strive to do well or to try new things. My brother called me testimony where he said, embracing discomfort turns a negative into a positive experience, a sign that we are on the right path, and that what we are feeling is perfectly normal. This may open us up to take more risk and really diving into the situation, diving into the struggles, diving into what you're going on. Listen, you're not always going to have things on a silver platter. You're not always going to have things smoothly. But you choose and pick where you want to sit on that table, on your safety net or growth. Choose. There is no wishy-washy, if that's even the way they say it. There is no middle ground. It's either you in your safety zone or you want to grow, right? It's either you choose to grow or you choose to stay in your safety zone. Where do you want to stay? How do you want to progress if you are going to stay in your safety zone? How do you want to progress if you are not going to make any strides to start living the life that you were meant for by embracing those discomfort and then pushing yourself to your growth, changing certain things that need to be changed, tweaking certain things that need to be tweaked, right? If it doesn't challenge you, it will not change you. If what you're dealing with doesn't compel you to do something different, it would not change you, right? If it does not compel you to revisit it and relook at it and say to yourself that, I get why this is that, but this is not right. Let me do something about it, right? That is what we got to do. Because in building resilience, it has to start from we embracing the discomfort and then we pushing for growth, right? That is where it has to start from. So sit up, buckle up, and start moving. Buckle up and start looking for what you need to do to get to that great place that you were meant to be. Buckle up, build on you. Nobody is going to do it for you. I said sometimes that sometimes it is just you and your problem. Sometimes it is just you and your struggle. Sometimes it is just you by yourself and what you're going through. And you have to make that decision to decide that what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Where am I going to go for support? Where do I even start looking at? Right? Buckle up and start pushing and start moving and start looking for ways and means that you will be able to not only embrace those discomfort, but grow out of it, better yourself out of it. If it is that job you're doing that you don't see no progress on, right? Start looking for something else that will better you up, right? But that does not mean that just stop what you are doing right now, right? We don't stop when we haven't found a replacement yet. Unless the reason to that is important to other things. So let's build on us. Let's embrace those discomfort. Let's push ourselves out there. Let's push ourselves a little more. Let's embrace those and let's start running with it. Right? Let's embrace those and start running with it. Let's embrace those and start asking ourselves, where can I start? Or how can I start improving on myself? Because that is the only way we're going to grow. That is the only way we're going to better ourselves. That is the only way we're going to be fulfilled at the end of the day. Right? So this week, we're going to go out there and we're going to start embracing those struggles that we have, those discomfort that we have, those pains that we have, those struggles that we have. We're going to embrace them. And in embracing them, we are going to do well to turn things around, to allow us to start building on us, to allow us to start growing and to better ourselves, to allow us to start pushing through, right? To allow us to become who we're meant to be and not just what the circumstances that we find ourselves in want us to be, right? So thank you all so much for hopping on here with me again. If this is your first time ever joining me here and you don't know what this is, we are a Dose of Encouragement Incorporated, right? Our main mission is supporting the needy, the orphanages, right? In any shape or form that we can. That does not mean this, let me use this medium to say this. That does not mean that when you reach out to us for support, we're not going to verify those information that you've given us, right? We are going to verify it before we lend in. There are certain times that we don't verify and then we go through it, right? We support due to the nature of the issue. But we are going to verify it, the information you give us, before we lend any support to you, right? So this should let us know that you're not just gonna hop on here and be like, hey, I need help, without us doing our due diligence on what we have to do. We are going to verify those information, right? Because we know that people use this means to collect from people as much as they can, right? That's their way of living, right? But so that we have capability and we have the support to be supportive to the people that really are in need, we do verify that information. So if it means that we get in your Ghana card to verify with your name, with your number, we're going to do that before we offer you the support, right? We don't want to waste resources on that, right? So our main umbrella is helping eradicate poverty in our own little or small way that we can, right? That is our main umbrella. And then a subsequent or a sub umbrella is we learning from each other, like this one, having a session on right now it is on weekly basis. We're looking to see if we can at least make it maybe once a month or something, but we would let you know on that when we decide that. But right now it is on weekly basis, where we come and we learn from each other, where we come and we tap ideas from each other, because as I always say, I do not know everything, right? And you do not know everything. So we tap ideas from each other. This is a community that we are building, or we have built, that is supporting one another any way, shape, or form, right? So we have a broad umbrella. So if you ever in the position to offer support, to offer help, to offer assistance, to help this organization grow, you are more than welcome to reach out to us, and we will look into your credentials, and then we will do our findings to see if you are a good fit for a Dose of Encouragement Incorporated. If you don't know who I am, again, my name is Amanda Krufiaye, and I am the founder of A Dose of Encouragement Incorporated, and I am also your host of A Dose of Encouragement Incorporated. Thank you all so much for hopping on here with me every Saturday and helping make this a good one, helping make this journey or this vision a great one, taking it to the world. We appreciate you all so much. Do well to push this video out for us. Share it on all platforms that you can ever imagine or you have, right? And let people benefit from this. Somebody out there, some way, somehow, are in need of this, right? To help them get up from that seat they sit in, to help them get up from that couch they sit in, to help them take that bold step in towards their future and towards their growth. So thank you all so much. Once again, my name is Amanda Kofi Aye, and I appreciate you all. And I sign up until I come your way again next week. Stay blessed. But until then, or in the interim, whilst we wait for the next session, let's push this out. Let's take this to the world. Let's take this to the nations, right? So that people will see. Asking for help when you don't know how to move forward can be uncomfortable, but pushing through that discomfort is essential to moving farther down the road. It enables you to get the information, insight, and skills you need to grow and add extra to your textbook by building on what got you here so that you can get there. Well said. Well said. Well said. Well said. Right? This is why I love, 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 love my audience so much, because they bring ideas that I also get to learn from. They bring ideas that I also get to tap from, right? What better way to join us? What better way to be a part of A Dose of Encouragement Incorporated? What better way to support us? As I said, our doors are open to anybody who sees the vision and is able to contribute one way, shape, or form as an associate, as a volunteer. You are very much welcome to support us and to text us or email us, right? Also, we'll be putting our Google business link on here. Do well and leave us a feedback of how we're doing, of what we're doing, of what we can better, right? Or what we can do better, right? To help this organization and its vision goes up. So in short while, I will put the link up here. Do well and then let us know, because that also pushes us out there to the world, right? As we are on Google, right? So thank you all so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your time. Have a good Saturday, and have a blissful weekend, and have a fruitful week ahead. Until I come your way again on next week, God willing, if the Creator permits, I sign out. I thank you very much for your support. I thank you for all that you do for us. Until then, see ya and stay safe.